Hey YouTubers, I just wanted to do a follow-up on the video that I did the other day reviewing some of the products for hair coloring. Well, I used the Manic Panic and that was my first time, so I just kind of wanted to do a follow-up on it. I used the Voodoo Blue to start out with, and again it was supposed to look like a sort of dark jean color. And it turned out really bright, and I showed pictures of how it looked outside and inside, but it was just really too bright for me. If you're into the brighter colors, this is a good one for it turns really like a neon type of blue, especially in the sun. If you see some of the lighter colors in there, and excuse me, my hands are all stained and I'll get into why, but if you look at that lighter color, it really turns that, and I'll put in some pictures. And then, so that was a little bit too bright, so I added Rockabilly Blue. So what I found was that evening, as I was, taking off my makeup and stuff, I noticed that all under my neck and all around, and again, I'll insert pictures, down. And I'm not trying to look like, I strangled a Smurf, or, I'm the walking bruised, or like I didn't listen and I ate the piece of bubble gum at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I don't want to look like that. So I ended up taking a shower as usual, but this time, I rinsed it out. Normally I wouldn't rinse my hair out that soon, but I really wanted to get under my neck. And pretty much it rinsed out all of the Rockabilly Blue color, and I just dropped it, excuse me. So it rinsed out all of the Rockabilly Blue color, and again, I was back to square one. So I would say that these amplified colors, they do last much longer than these older formula, which is the high voltage. However, again, I didn't want that color. So what I ended up doing, again, was putting in another color. So I went in with my favorite Jerome Russell, and I talked about this in my last video. I went in with the color Atlantic Blue. So this one isn't as dark as the Midnight Blue that he has, which is one that I probably would have went in with, but I just wanted to show some pictures here. And now this is a good idea of how much darker the color looked in my hair, and that's what you want to look for. I know I did talk about the crazy colors and how I started to put it in and I could just tell it wasn't going to work. And the reason being is because when you put the color in your hair, especially when you're starting, you want to make sure that that color is darker than what you're going for, because if it looks lighter than what you're going for, you're gonna end up with something much lighter. So if it's going in and it looks darker, then you're pretty sure to get more of the color. Now this Rockabilly Blue went on, darker, and you can see that it's very dark. And if you look on the website for Rockabilly Blue, it's kind of like this color. So but again, it just doesn't last in there. So I'm going to show you what I mean by how you want the color to look darker. So I didn't end up using the crazy color blue. I started to, but I could tell as I was putting on, and this is what I was talking about. I'm going to give you an idea. Okay, the color that this is supposed to be is this sky blue, which on the website looked like a nice deep blue, like I like. And as you can see when I put it on, see, it kind of looks a little bit purple. All right, just kind of give you an idea. And then when you mix it and start to put it in, let's see, hopefully you can see it over this, but see how it kind of just fades away and becomes a really light, like pastel blue. So I could just tell right off the bat that this wasn't going to do anything for my hair. However, if you like those pastel colors, I think that this type of a product is going to be great for you. So if you like pastel colors, you don't want those crazy dark colors, and you don't want to have to mix cream rinse or some type of cream in with your hair dye, then, you know, these are great for pastel colors. So just pick the color that you want, and I'm pretty sure it'll come out pastel. And then again, there are people that mix them with cream rinse, so you can make them even lighter. I have seen people use the Jerome Russell and mix cream rinse, and they have to use a ton of cream rinse for like just a little tiny tablespoon of, not even a tablespoon, a teaspoon of the Jerome Russell. So you can get a lot of use out of this if you want a pastel color. Just put a lot of cream rinse, mix this in there. And again, he does have a developer. I don't know what's the difference with his formula. I haven't tried it. Like I said, I like the darker colors. Excuse me, not darker. So I'm going to show you the difference with this color for Jerome Russell. And I also have a picture. But as you can see, there's the color. And then I'm going to mix it in and see how it stays that really deep color even as I mix it. So you want it to stay that deep color so that when it does rinse out, you know, it's going to leave you with a little bit of a shade lighter than how it looks on. And oh, it smells so good. And then I was noticing also when I put the Jerome Russell on, I hadn't used it in a long time, so I was kind of taking notes. When you put it on and let it sit, I usually let mine sit for a long time, and I'm notorious for going to sleep with my hair color still on just because I like to leave it in there a lot longer. I just kind of feel like it really sinks in. So if you put this on, then you'll notice after it starts to get on there, you kind of touch it and it gets like a really waxy feeling to it, like dried cream rinse. And if you touch it, it doesn't you know, stain your fingers when you're touching it. I've been, again, notorious for, you know, leaning over with my hair up, and then I get like the side of the wall or things like that. I'm just so messy by nature. So I was going to say that that's also good that it doesn't get all over you. And then again with the Manic Panic, it is just, I'm still stained. I am stained so bad on my hands, my fingernails. It doesn't seem to want to stay on the hair that well, but it definitely wants to stay on your skin. It's in my sink and everything, but I have been able to get it to fade, but I just feel like I cannot get this color off of me. And even like the Splats or any other brand that I've used usually comes off the skin, but something about the Manic Panic, you know, if you want to be blue or if you want to be a body color of this type of color, then, you know, Manic Panic is going to dye your skin just perfectly, but hopefully you don't have to do anything that requires not being colored for, you know, the next, I don't know how long. I'm really hoping that this leaves because it's kind of embarrassing to be, you know, again, walking around blue. So I like my hair blue, not my body. Anyway, so I hope that this has helped you. It's just my 1.5 cents, and please leave me any comments if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and I'm gonna put some more pictures at the end of pictures that I found with using Jerome Russell, and I just want to kind of show you how long it lasts and how nicely when it does start to off, that it fades like more, the color starts going light, you know, like the turquoise, that starts turning green, but it, you know, it's even fade. And I will show you examples of like using the Splat, how that fades in like a really weird way. It just kind of will fade in different areas, things like that. There is a picture of me after like a couple months using the Jerome, and you can see some of my root color, and that usually happens because your roots are, you know, obviously your most healthiest part of your hair. So the roots usually, unless you don't do anything to your hair like I do, I'm constantly blow drying, flat ironing, so the ends tend to get damaged and they lose that protective layer. But on the roots, you know, when you first dye them, they're going to be the first ones to bleach out. And then when you do color over them, they're going to usually be the first ones to lose that color just because they do have that protective layer, and the color really sinks into the pores, and, you know, your more damaged hair, the pores are more open because it's lost that protective layer. So again, just a little, FYI. And again, if you have any questions, let me know, and please stay tuned for the pictures. All right, talk to y'all later.